YouTube might be different. Yeah. Looks like it. I don't know. I don't know what chat. Oh, okay. We have 2 showing as live on TradingView. Oh, we'll go with session 2. Yeah. Okay. We are back. Hey guys, if you're on TradingView, just bear with us for a sec while we get our shit together. Okay. And I'll just forward that to TRI. And we're going to close that one. Good. Okay, guys. Sorry about that. All right. I think we're good. And tweeting out the new one. All right. Okay, guys. Welcome back. False start on the defense. 15-yard penalty. That's not how many yards it is, but that's how much football I watched this season. Okay, guys. I think we're good. That's very unsettling. Always when, you have a producer, myself, hardlined, gigabit connections, top of the line computers, although maybe my iMac Pro used to be top line. We're just deciding maybe it's time to spend a few ETH on a new system. This thing does do well usually, but once in a while this happens. Yeah, looks like BTC is preparing to reverse Abercrombie. No Fitch. We're going to take a look at that. Hey guys, Seremo, Kevin, Max, Kingsley, Costco. Good to see you guys back. Well, I was just going on a little rant about social media because there's this kind of funny thing going on. Obviously our goal is to grow an audience on YouTube. We have things that we think are good to share. We have the right message to put out in the market. I feel like we do anyways. I put a lot of time into doing all the right stuff, educating, not getting anyone into too much hot water with bullshit like the next 100x coin and all that kind of crap. However, I resisted for a long time with these thumbnails, for example, where, every thumbnail on YouTube for all the big accounts, it's like, Bitcoin do 100K. And then I find that really cringy. And I said so at our meeting about this. And then, our head of marketing, who is really good and knows what she's talking about, she said, well, look, that's what the algo's like. That's why all the top accounts do it. It's not a mystery. And I resisted still. And then we started doing them. I did one as a joke. I was like, okay, I'm going to put it out. Oh my God, alt season? ? And I kind of did it like totally sarcastically. And then that video got 1,100 views, which for us is pretty high in 24 hours. And like, 20 new subs or something. And then yesterday I was like, I'm not doing it. And I did like a totally normal one or and that thing got like 400 views and no new subs. So I've been defeated. It turns out there is, we told you to figure it out. Yeah. Turns out there is actually a formula to this. And so I am faced with the existential crisis of feeling like a sellout, where it's like, am I going to do the things that I always said is so cringy that meh? Or am I just going to like moon this thing and do everything we can to just grow, period, without obviously like turning into like, taking paid endorsements and all this crap that we just will never do. Anyways, so if you guys see a whole, yeah, go silly stupid, mate. Yeah, Dominic gets it. Do it, man. Yeah, so I'm with you guys. I mean, at the end of the day, it's an obvious choice. If you're going to spend the time, figure out the formula that makes it the most effective time spent and just go for it. But we know you're legit. Oh, I appreciate the love, guys, because this has been like an internal struggle for me to take the next leap into YouTubeness. And it's like the analytics just don't lie. And I hate it. I pull them up like a day or two later. I'm like, please, please, please. But the dumb faces always do better. So if you see a lot more dumb-faced RT in the future, just don't judge me too harshly. I know some of you guys here are being great, but you should look through the comments on when I do that. They're like, oh man, I love the content, but if you keep with that stupid face, I'm unfollowing. So we may lose a couple along the way, but at the end of the day, the algos are going to love it. Okay, enough about that. Let's talk stuff about things. I got a new Peloton bike, as you guys know, from Wednesday, and I'm trying a new health kick. You know, I've got to get out of my seat once in a while. I started tracking. My girlfriend has like a scale that you can have like a, you know, an app, and it tracks and all this. And, you know, ladies. And I started using it, and like, it is just this like terrible, I guess going this way. It's this like classic trend of just fat. You know, 195, 197, 199. And then last night I was 201, which is like, I don't really care about the weight. I want to, you know, I want to be in shape. I want to feel good. So I got this bike. And we're going to see. We're going to see how it goes. I did the first one yesterday. It was fucking dope. The trainer got me all pumped up. 20-minute bike ride. I never thought I liked biking, but afterwards, I felt great. And I sat down and I saw the market more clearly. My portfolio looked shinier. Life was good. So if you guys see more energy and you see, you know, more pizzazz in my step, it's because I've got a Peloton and I'm a fit bro now. Back to fitness. Because really, I miss it. I miss it a lot. COVID really fucked that up for me. I had a gym partner, I had a membership. I was going every day. I was making gains. I was hitting personal bests. And I have totally indulged in just my equity curve over the last few months, trading, telling myself it's okay as long as number go up and, you know, trading is focus. I definitely let that part slip. So if you guys are interested in that, I mean, I think, yeah, burpees on, I think a lot of you guys watching are probably dealing with some of the same because it's just, you know, it's a theme right now. Everyone's like, the time you do have, you're spending it on the market. The market is very demanding right now. There's so much opportunity. Attention is coming at a premium. And so I'm probably not alone on that. And I think if there's one thing, you know, that I want to up my game on, fuck New Year's. I don't need to wait for that. I'm just going to start now. It's spring fling, spring cleaning. So you'll probably hear me talk a little bit more about that over the next little bit. And, you know, get our bodies right, get our minds right, get our diet. Now, diet, I'll tell you, really quick, easy hack. There are meal plans. Good food is one, and I'm very lucky. My girlfriend cooks it, so it's beautiful. And I do the dishes. It's a great little mix, but it's healthy. It's like automatic groceries, save time. The other one I used to do when I lived alone was it's called Yumba. There's a bunch of them, but you just search like near me food prep delivery. So if you guys are eating a lot of fast food and shitty stuff, the one easy thing, you pay a little bit more, but in a weird way less because Uber Eats is expensive. And then you just get these trays and, you know, you get a week of them and it's relatively healthy. So that's probably my best thing that I did that's just easy because actually now I don't do groceries. I don't have to think, what am I going to order? You know, when I'm hungry, I'm just like, I'm going to just order Chinese food, like those little things. So I did that. So I got a meal prep plan or, you know, whatever that is, good food box. And every plate is very affordable. Okay. Scott says every plate is the name of one. Patrick Hughes asked, did Nick Cote die? No, he did not die. He's working on other stuff. I still talk to him every once in a while. He's in the market. He's working. He's grinding. But he had tons of stuff on his plate and he had to pick and choose. And you don't always get to do everything you want in life, as I am learning as well. So, yeah. No, Nick's good. TA won't be possible with a large channel. We'll be front run. Yeah, that's the other thing, Blade Runner. It's the sad reality. Once you get a certain size account, BTC Jack Sparrow, for example, he and I were buddies before he really took off on Twitter, before he put that effort in to grow it, and you know, maybe had 6,000 to 10,000 followers. And now he's gotten to a point where I don't know where he's at now, probably just around 100K or more. And he can't talk about a lot of coins. Like he can talk Bitcoin and ETH, but if he like talks about, I think he even tweeted out a chart like a few months ago on NIX, NIX, and he even said in the tweet, like, I'm not gonna say what coin this is because I don't want to be immoral and whatever and pump it. And everyone just figured out what coin it was, and the thing pumped like 70%. And like some people would love that. They'd be like, great, I can just tweet out a chart and pump my bags and then dump on people. That's free money. I don't even have to be good at trading. But Jack's not like that, and neither am I. And I have no desire to make money off of the following in that way. So we may have to look at whittling down some of the shitcoins I look at, if that ever happens. It'd be a good problem to have, I guess, at some point. Having said all that, if you guys are on BitClout, we did I did just claim the Real Hero Labs account, mostly because I didn't want squatters on it, and in the future I see us starting it up. But I just got the okay from the boss. We're going to tweet it out. We're going to link the private key. We're going to get verified. You will see me in there and the holders of Creator Coins. Fuck yeah, I'm buying a little bit at the bottom. Hell yeah, I'm going to put a lot of work into that account. So I picked up a bag of Real Hero Labs Creator Coin, and we're going to start shifting some of our, I wouldn't even say shifting, probably just do a lot of the same, and I'll copy paste some of the content over there, but we may do some original content over there as well. For those of you who are messing around on BitClout, I'm still fired up about it. I just had a really good chat with Dan Gunny, who you know from our streams. He and I love that thing. I mean, all the hate aside, it's just a really cool idea, and it's very sticky. We've both been using it. And you know what? It kind of reminds me of PS2. Like, I don't know if you guys played video games back in, I guess, the early 2000s. And then they first got the online features. It was like SOCOM US Navy SEALs 2. And everyone on the chat was so friendly. It was like, oh, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Colorado. What's up, man? How's it going? Add me to your friends list. I love you. Because we had never spoken to anyone that we were playing games with. It was so chill. It was so happy. And somewhere over the last 10, 15 years, it just degraded into absolute toxicity. If you go online gaming now and you play Call of Duty and you kill somebody and you just hear them on the other side and they're just like, fuck, oh! And the trolls are like insane. BitClout kind of reminds me of that, the early days of online gaming. If you go on your feed on BitClout, like it's overwhelmingly positive and excitement. There's this real community feel. So it's refreshing. I got to say, it's refreshing. I'm enjoying it, messing around on there. Luke Martin's taking up his account there, and he's putting out a lot of good positivity. So big fan of that. Have you considered creating a comprehensive TA course? You know what, Blade Runner? That's a good question. I wouldn't, and I'll tell you why. I took a comprehensive TA course, and that's the one I often talk about it. TRI, therationalinvestor.com. I don't want to be on here like shilling it as like an ad or something, but that's the course I took, and I'm still in that community. And the guy who created it, he's the one who discovered or created the RLZ, the reload zone. He's the one who introduced me to Chaos PRZ, and they run a really good program. So maybe I'll plug it right here. But they run a really good trading course, and I would never try to recreate my own just because it would basically just be borrowing from them. So I do videos about different tools that I use all the time because I want people on this channel to be able to be like, what the hell is RT talking about? And I can just point to the video and be like, check it out, come back, hang out. But no, I'm not going to do a full course. But anytime somebody DMs me and they say like, hey man, I really want to learn more. Like I want to take this really seriously. I love your guys' content. It's great alpha. It helps me a bit. It helps me a lot. But I want like my own trading plan. I want to do what you do. I want to do how, get as far as you have. And I just say, go to TRI, man. It's actually so good. It's a 12-week course, costs $1,000. Could charge 10 for that. And I'd still tell you it's good value, but it's 1,000. And it's term-based. So you have time. I think the next one starts May 10th. So I'm glad you asked, because I'm always excited to talk about something I believe in. And I believe so deeply in that thing. It paid for itself by the time I was done, like many times over. And that's on me though. That's not because of the course. And he'll tell you that from day one. He'll be like, I can teach you all the shit you want, but if you just fuck around and suck, like you got to be disciplined. You got to actually do the things that you're taught, and a lot of it's hard to do, like buying in reload zones and selling at chaos PRZs and managing risk, taking small measured bets, tracking and journaling. It's hard work, but so is 9-to-5 jobs. 9-to-5 jobs are hard work. Right? Everything's hard work. Well, not everything, but most things that are worth it. And I've never found hard work that paid off quite as well as disciplined trading. And it definitely helps that we're in a bull market. Let's switch over to screen share. I feel like we've had a I think we're back. God, there's no, there are no words, my friends, for the deep ugliness of a disconnect midstream, mid thought, mid flow. It's like if you were in the theater and this, like, you know, and the curtain just fell down or you fell on your face in this live theater. Anyways, guys, all I did was push screen share. Let's try it again. I'm gonna test fate here. Screen share. It seems like if there's ever okay, it's working. We're fine. Yeah, and I had a hard stop today too because I got a dark market barber coming to my house direct for a haircut, which is so overdue. It's ridiculous. I had to change the size of my hat this week. I was like, the fuck? So anyways, that's at 4, which is in like half an hour. So let's get into it. Had a nice juicy preamble. Great to have you guys here today. Abercrombie No Fitch, Sean Logic over on TradingView with Niklas. ADA will moon. Yes, we'll see about that. So good to have you guys back, and glad we didn't have to do a whole new session and all that. You guys check out Dragon BTC RT could be one rotated yet. Yeah, well, like, hey, yeah, you looked at Dragon Chain. Let's look at our ideas section. Minor plug. Let's go look at our profile page because we have a Dragon trade live. Oh my God, do we? Don't we? Oh, we maybe don't. Oh no, wrecked. I think we just did it on stream. That's too bad. Would have been a nice one to have. The nice thing about this ideas section is like there's no deleting, right? So once I put an idea out, it either smacks or it doesn't. Vet, smacked. KMD, we'll see. It broke out and now has come right back down. But like that should be a good bullish retest. I still have the bag I bought kind of just before that breakout. It's actually down slightly, I think. Which sucks. I think it was up a good amount and then down a good amount. But we're right at this retest. So keep an eye here. Yeah, let's take a look at Dragon. I was hoping it was in the ideas section because I love, I don't put a ton in there. I try to be fairly selective. Obviously, there's like, I don't know. Is that good or bad? Should I just put everything in there? Get a real sense of when I'm right and wrong, but maybe like that's the alpha. Maybe if it's not good enough to put in the ideas section, why am I trading it? Maybe I need to ask myself that. But look at Dragon. Yeah. Smacked its objective today. I mean, pretty standard kind of stuff. It almost isn't surprising anymore when you just see it come up, smack the fib extension. Almost a clean tag on the Chaos PRZ, which is all the way up here. If you draw it from this consolidation, this little one here. So that's pretty cool. I wonder what we'd get if we just did it from like that base. Yeah, well, that thing got a tag too earlier. Oh, almost perfectly. What is it? 483. This thing peaked at 481. So 2 sats. 2 sats, not far enough. Dragon Chain is looking good. And, I'm not too shocked. This break off the bottom on volume told me that it was like, okay, this downtrend's down. We're going to reverse down into the reload zone, breakout, continue, like pretty picture perfect kind of stuff for the kind of trading that I like to do. So happy with Dragon. Sounds like 1 or 2 of you traded that. Paul Rose, great job. Good eye. BTC, break to break it. Yeah, let's take a look at BTC. Let's look at the king. Don't mind me, just looking for a short on Uni. I think if I want to express my short-term bearishness in the market, I need to find the right chart to do it on. So what I did today is I repopulated my Binance Perps watch list with like, the 10 or 15 they had added in the last month or two since I had looked at it, because I haven't really been trading futures much. And then I obviously I'm looking for shorts, which on Bitcoin doesn't make a ton of sense at this level. Last weekend it did up in the short reload zone. I was hunting for shorts, although I did take Saturday off, and that's usually when the nice things happen, which is when the sweet spot tag came in. So rip my short. But I cut, like I talked about on the stream, I was in a position where I was way too exposed to altcoins after putting all of my sort of Tether and Bitcoin that I had into BitClout a couple weeks ago. LOL. It's doing well though over there in its buy only environment. So I had to sell a bunch of altcoins, and on the weekend I thought, okay, we're just up here. I do see like ranging coming. So I trimmed those and got my cash position back to give myself a base in the portfolio to reduce volatility, all that stuff. But I didn't short. I didn't get this short in, which is like whatever, not too beat up about it because I'm not been trading futures. However, really nice tag off the EQ. I mean, picture perfect. This line didn't come out of nowhere. This is your high from before. You can take this low and say that's a range low. And then this EQ is just a 50% of that. So, you just take a fib, draw it between the two, wherever that 50 line is. That's the EQ, equilibrium, midpoint. And after we broke down and retested, I thought, oh, well, we're probably heading to that EQ. Did I trade it? No, but I'd say 60% of what I do is analysis, and I share it. And how exactly you turn that into a trade yourself is up to you. Tesla news came out. That's cool. And that's why downtrends, they often zigzag, but it wasn't enough. The buyers weren't stepping in until at least the EQ, in my opinion, and they haven't, and now they have. Looks like they might be. So 4-hour trend though. So what does it look like to have a reversal? What does it look like for me to say, oh, I'm ready to buy? Well, this is not a reversal. This is a downtrend still. Nothing's changed. It's a nice bounce. I'll give it that. Nice volume coming in on the bounce too. And usually with EQs, the way ranges work is they don't just go like high to low. If we even do ever end up at the lows, there's no saying we will. But they usually will get a test at least. And the buyers will try to come in and say, like, that's it, right? There's dip buyers everywhere. You can look on Twitter today. There's a lot of guys saying, I just bought more Bitcoin. And this is an interesting level to do that. I mean, if I'm DCAing back into a bag that I sold up here, if I had a trade on futures and that, yeah, for sure my TP1, probably like majority of my profits taken there. Because at this point, we'll have to see. I want to see a reversal though. I want to see a high. I want to see a new low that's higher than the last one. So let's say we bounce up to here, test that EMA maybe. I should put this on white. And then I want to see a higher low. We will come and test those lows almost certainly. And then I need to see a higher high. That's the confirmation of reversal, something like that. Then I can start buying the next dip. Because usually even after that confirmation, it's really kind and the market comes back to stop out everyone who FOMO'd in, but mostly just to fill me. Guys like me who wait for the dip after the confirmation. So that's sort of what I'm looking for here. But at the same time, I'm over here on Uni. I've got a few names. I went down made a blue list today of different names that just look heavy. And don't take this personally if you guys like any of these bags. And I'm not even saying like I think Atom is undervalued. I think it is, in the bull market sense. But look at this. This looks very toppy. Just does midterm. And that's just a fact. It's how I trade. So I don't care where market goes. I'm just going to trade what it looks like it might go. So with that close on the daily yesterday, that's confirmed bearish top. And it would be totally normal as part of a larger uptrend. I was having a really nice conversation on Twitter with somebody about this yesterday. It would be totally normal as part of a larger uptrend for us to, my setup doesn't come in unless this happens. So I hope that happens first. But then something like this. And then we just hang out in here while everybody gets bored again. And then it's and then at the end of the year, you look back and you're like, oh man, 2021 was so easy. The market only went up. But try living through these midterm swings and telling people that, right? 2017 had the same thing for altcoins especially. So that's sort of what I see on a number of names right now, potentially. And that would be totally normal. Like it happened here. It happened here. We came down, bored the shit out of everybody. And thankfully, our Hero Labs account and myself, we were able to spot this breakout, see the volume coming in, buy the reload zone down here, and we took it up to some chaos objectives. It was really sweet trade. So when those trades come out, I'm all for it, and I'll talk about it. But when the short trades come out, I'm still going to talk about it, even though less people want to hear about it. You get a lot of thumbs down and silly things like, no, I will go to the channel where number goes up. It's like, bro, the market's going to do what the market's going to do, no matter who talks about it, no matter, So I'll tell you guys when I think I see something that looks like shit. And unfortunately, Adam, ADA, ADA actually, I will say this, ADA looked like shit yesterday because it was coming down with everything else. And I thought, man, if it closes below this, if it closes below this level, that's your top. Although it's less weak because you have this high and then you have a higher high, like on candle body closes. So it's not so bad. But there is arguably some bearish market structure cooking up here, or just consolidation and then more. But you guys know how I feel about the valuation behind ADA. I still don't know anyone who uses it. And if you guys are watching and you like ADA, tell me why. Tell me, aside from number goes up and I made a lot of money off it, that's great. I'm in a community and guys around me are all telling me it's going to be the future. Great. But like, what applications run on it? What use cases there where if number doesn't go up, somebody still needs ADA token? Why do they still need it? And I'm not saying they don't. I honestly don't know. So if you can make a bull case for token demand outside of speculation, let me know. And other than that, ADA's market cap is just ridiculously high right now. I don't know that it's number 5 in my mind. And so when you look at what things are worth versus what you think they should be, and I search for things that are undervalued to go long on and overvalued to go short on, 35 billion. And I have yet to meet somebody who, has an app or a thing or a reason why they need ADA tokens. It seems high to me. So anyways, I guess I started off by saying that the chart didn't actually shit the way that a lot did. It needs to close below that for me to trigger a short setup. And if that happens, then I don't short it there. I wait for like the trickle up and then it's game on. And I'm seeing something like that on Uni. Uni's a really clean example of that. So we've got this, we've got sell the news on V3 potential, which I think is a great trade kind of thing. And it's actually perfect because not only is that sort of an anticipated thing, and I think it might have left a lot of people wanting because there's a lot of cool stuff. And yeah, V3 is going to be better than V2, but there's still no explicit language around the token use case. I think a lot of people were hoping, stake Uni and get a cut of the fees. Maybe that's going to come, but there was no mention of it. So, does a holder of the Uni token get to share in the growth of the network on a financial level? And there's no evidence of that. So it might have been a bit of a womp womp moment for those people, but it certainly was not loved on the charts. I think it just shot up and then just got rejected hard. Now, if you're super bullish on this long term and you're a whale, you don't need number to go up now. You need more Uni in your pocket. And so they will play the game if they can to convince people that it's shit, sell it off, get it into this reload zone, set their buys, put the floor back in it. And then what is it estimated? Something like May, like here is when V3 might actually go live. And I would speculate right now, like in the perfect world, I can get my short off up here where we can come down, have a really shitty couple of weeks. And this doesn't mean the whole market has to come down. There's definitely room for like coins to do that while other things are okay. But I see something like that maybe happening. And it's not about making the prediction. It's really just a setup. I've got my lower high, I've got my breakdown. So any bounces up into here is an opportunity for me to look for shorts. And I would just be like, take profit, take profit, take profit. And that's a great trade. That's a great trade. And and then maybe we get down in there and Uni V3 launches and maybe they do surprise everyone and say, actually, you're going to be rich if you hold Uni because it's going to be big and some amount of fees goes towards holders. Then we moon it. And that whole thing was just a big sort of midterm drawdown as part of a larger trend. I mean, look at this thing. It can't just go up forever. That's not usual. It could, I guess, but most likely it's, in an uptrend, you're getting shit like that. Well, that went off the deep end, but you know what I mean? So that's my thinking on Uni. It's just a setup. If it comes in, I'm going to trade it. That's what I do. And this particular setup, 3 reasons for a trade, it doesn't win every time. It's probably like a 50-40% hit rate. But you can see bearish divergences. You can see bearish market structure. So like it's got all the things I need. The thing is, yeah, if it hits 50% of the time, but then check it out. So I get short all the way up here if it lets me. I risk 15% of what I put at risk, 14 and a half. But if I'm right, 53% gain. That's 3.5 times, right? So it can be right 50% of the time. I can lose half the time, win half the time. But when I win, I get 3.5 times as much as when I lose. And that's the important part. That's that compounding gain over time. And that's why you need risk management. As boring as it sounds, people, when you understand that, you can really grow your account. What's your opinion about Super? I've never heard of it. It's like Elio's thing, maybe some fixed yield about it. I don't know. I don't really watch YouTube or follow the big accounts, but I heard that's his project. Thoughts on Matic? We should look at the chart. I am out of my Matic position, so I haven't been charting it. I'm just waiting for it to be called dead. And then I will go look. Let's do it. Maybe it's good short too. Yeah. I mean, and I'm seeing a lot of this in the market now. Let's look at the facts. Matic was super undervalued at $500 million, I thought. Then they pivoted to Polygon. I thought, yep, definitely going to get into a conversation of a multi-billion-dollar project now, and it did, and it was great. We we got some trades off down here and down here. And then it got a Coinbase listing right here, and then it just went nuclear. So that cycle's probably good for now for me. Probably doesn't need to go up anymore right now. In fact, what it needs to do is punish the late longers, the late bulls, as markets do. So this one doesn't look too bad. Now it is sitting on this EMA. It is the daily. It's just gone down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days in a row. So this is not a location where I short something. But looking at the high time frame structure, this uptrend is over for now. High, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, lower, high, well, higher, low, lower, high, lower, low. This is where the market structure reversed. And being able to spot that in markets can save you a lot of money. So this is not an uptrend anymore on the daily. It is a downtrend. And you will have people everywhere when you go to look for confluence, and you look for people that are going to tell you what you want to hear. Be like, no, man, buy the dip, it's a bull. Buy the dip, it's a bull. Buy the dip, it's a bull. It's almost like this Wall Street market cycles thing in like in miniature fashion. And that happens multiple times through a bull. We saw it with DeFi summer last year. DeFi was bullish, but it doesn't mean it was going to go straight up. It had to cool off, and it did for months. And then, then it went crazy again. Maybe it's time for us to cool off for a bit. And if it is, the sooner I figure that out as a trader, the better. I can limit my risk, maybe even make some money along the way. ADA Vaporware, according to ID Jaguaryakez. It's a long name, man. You set me up for that. Some people call it vaporware. I don't have any evidence to disagree with that comment. I think a lot of people love tokens because they hold them, and then the number goes up, and you get into a community and everybody's making money, and it becomes your favorite token. For me, that was Aeon in 2017. Made a killing on that. Community was great, very big. Turned really toxic when it went down 99.6%. Suddenly nobody had any need to hold on to their Aeon. There was nothing you needed it for. So I love demand-based things, like BNB. BNB is always going to be my favorite example of that because you needed it to save on fees. Like I literally, when I run out of BNB right now, I go buy more. I need more because it's how I pay my fees. That's real demand. And that's why BNB has done so well. And then you go and you need it to pay gas on BSC, and you need it for all these things. Like they have done a really good job over there. And obviously they have the most users in the world. So there's real demand there. It's not going to rug pull when the market goes down quite the same as others. It may go down, but it's not just going to be like zero value, zero use case, zero demand. Some of these are vaporware. You guys have to, start to recognize why number went up. Everything will go up in a bull market. Some will go all the way back down. Most actually. And some will kind of live through. BNB is a good example. Do you guys know of any other examples of coins that you're like, oh, that sounds a whole lot like this one? And staking for APY, I don't know if that counts. It's like, well, so much of this token's locked up for an APY. Well, sometimes those APYs are inflated because it's a bull market and not everyone's waiting around for staking rewards. So those who do get like nice high rewards. But you're also getting paid in the token itself. And in a bear market or in a downtrend, I won't even call it a bear market because that's not what I think we're into or even headed towards just yet. But in a downtrend, everyone wants out. And so they're selling that APY token and it's losing value. So yes, you're getting some nice APY, but you're getting paid in something that's deflationary or whatever. It's just going down. So if anyone knows of a good token like that, FTT, yes, great example. I needed FTT 2 weeks ago to go and participate in the Oxy IDO. I didn't win, but I needed FTT. I was like, shit, I don't have quite enough. I have to go buy some and stake it quickly. So they have built value into their token. You need it to do stuff. KSM, I don't know about. I don't know how it works. But yeah, AVAX, if it's gas on an avalanche, FTM, sad face, was really bullish on that one. Managed to not have a bag during that huge mega pump from 2 cents to 40 cents. But yeah, that kind of stuff. Let's take a look at ID. This is Yop. I think Yop's doing a pretty good job with what they're building. I'm bullish. I actually bought more the other day in that consolidation. Computer restarted today, so I don't have my ink. Sad face. I have to do it up again. But ID just looks great. What can I say? It looks nice. And that is not how you do a chaos. That's how you do a fib extension. Well, that's not as high a number, but that's probably the next stop. And this is like a nice local chaos, which is pretty close to that. Grabbing this kind of consolidation energy, spitting it out above, get me a nice little confluence zone. So that'll be where I take a little bit of profit, probably get my initial back. So whatever I've invested into ID or my position, my cost basis, I will take back up around here. Because then I have a free position and I can ride it much more comfortably and not really think too much about it. And then on a bigger scale, capture this whole consolidation range, which isn't really official yet until we break out above it. But if that day comes, which I think it will, then we've got some new chaos in play, which is really sexy. It's up above $4. And we'll see. I think these guys have some staking going live too, something like 40% annually to stake your ID tokens and probably just get them back at the end of the year or something. So that's fun. Yeah, polls. Polls is a good example. You need to hold polls to get access to their launch pads, and the launch pads are doing well. So therefore, polls has value. It has real demand. And that will change as the IDO market cools off. And it probably will. We've saw, my fund has been really active in that space. And so when we see things, valuations were really low, kind of like they were in 2016, right? Strat, they raised like 600K in 2016. 6 months before companies were coming out with absolute trash, like napkin, vaporware, white paper projects that were 2 years from anything. And they were raising like $30 million in 12 seconds. I mean, AirSwap token was in a documentary for that. And I'm not saying they're trash. They're stuck around. They've built something cool, but they raised like $30 million in under 60 seconds. And it was cool in the documentary, I think called The Trust Machine. They kind of interviewed them and they like had footage of them in their office while it was happening. They were like, oh my God, $30 million of Ethereum was just sent in. So that was like peak mania. And we're starting to see valuations creep up. We get on a lot of calls with different projects and some of them are coming out. They're like, yeah, we're raising 1 million, starting market cap will be 500K. And you're just like, oh, like dope, because if that launches at a 4 mil market cap, then that's like 8X. Okay, cool. Really nice valuation. That's like attractive as an investor. And then there's other ones that we chat with and they're like, yeah, so we're raising at a $100 million valuation. And, we think we're going to go to $1 billion market cap. And we're like, oh, okay. Like we're getting into that inflation-y territory. I don't think we're at the top yet, but it's definitely like we're seeing that trend again, where companies are very comfortable now giving themselves very high valuations. I'm going to show you a little leak of alpha. Somebody shared with me that I thought was cool. I think it's pools. Nope, it's not pools. Where is it that the IFO, initial something, farm offerings? So if you go on PancakeSwap, and we'll go to past IFOs, and this is actually like something I'm going to pay close attention to, because the valuations in this space at peak bubble will be ridiculous, right? Like shitty vaporware copycat tokens will be just raising $50 million if they're allowed to. Thankfully, IDOs and launchpads are kind of hedging or stemming some of that ridiculousness. But look here, November 20th, Blink raised whatever. They open it up, and then they have their limit, right? This is how much they're selling. They have a price they're selling it at, and they just kind of open the gates, and whatever gets sent in gets sent in. And if it gets sent in too much, you get your money back with the amount of tokens percentage-wise that you were going to get. So this one was 484% higher than what they wanted to raise. So, if you send in $100,000, you only got $25,000 of tokens or whatever, if it was 400%, right? So now that's that valuation. There was some excitement in the market. They raised more than they needed to. They sent back the extra, whatever. Now we go to Ditto, 632%. More excitement. I'm guessing it's because Blink came out and did well. People are like, oh, I'm going to ape in even more now. 1,400% for Tenet. Now you see the heat in the market, right? You see this space. This is a nice little metric we can use to kind of gauge this publicly. 900%. Okay, a little bit down from 14, but still kind of ridiculous. Raising more than they needed. 2,200% oversubbed. Barry, 18,000% oversubbed. Do you guys see what's happening here? We're getting saturated. We're getting into a mania. 71,000%. Like, if you send in $1 million to this thing, you probably got like $400 of tokens, and then you get your money back. So you guys can see this degen shit going on, yeah. And then Belt, 27,000. So all that to say that one of the better indicators in this market for what is really the top, what is really a bubble, how do we really measure oversaturation? Because at the end of the day, you will run out of buyers. You will have too many new coins. You will have too many new projects. There won't be enough new money or existing money in the market to rotate into those bags to make them profitable. And just like mid 2018, every ICO that came out after that started dumping. The second it was live, everyone rushed to sell because previously that's what happened. Whereas now everyone's rushing to buy, and they're usually holding because everyone who sells out of the gates gets left behind on some really nice new projects. That will shift, sadly, because I love this shit. I love pre-sales. I love ICOs, IDOs, launchpads. They're my favorite way to make money. But they won't last forever. It's the nature of cycles. So I'm keeping a close eye on this because we may see past IFOs, they're climbing astronomically right now, 71,000% oversub. Let's see when they get back down to lower numbers. Let's see when a few of them come out and don't perform well. Instead of a 10x, 50x, 5x, like they just come out at 1x and then they just bleed out a bit. Those kinds of things, those are the little breadcrumbs that the market's going to leave us to kind of get us a hint that maybe it's time to cool our jets, take risk off. So that's a little rant I wanted to get onto. Somebody mentioned IDOs, and that was all about polls. But yeah, for right now, launchpads are hot. New projects are hot. There is a ton of interest in money and hype in the market. And Bitcoin, coming down a few thousand off the top of the range is not going to change that. So for now, we're still full bull. But that's my take on that. So keep an eye on PancakeSwap. Yeah. OXI was crazy too. 5K only got you like 20 Oxy, Vorpaxis says. Somebody on TradingView asked about GRT. Let's take a look at GRT USDT. Oh, sad face on MTA. I didn't buy any yesterday. I was waiting for the close, but look at that. It didn't even get the close. It just had a really nice breakout, nice volume, and then the bears just smacked it down before the daily close. So that is literally a nothing candle. There's no signal there anymore at all. And that is why we wait for the close. Feeling justified, but that sucks because if it closed above that level, I was going to buy it. I was going to long it. Right now, it doesn't look ready. GRT is trending down. Yep. And so like, cool. This stuff's so easy to see in retrospect, where, you know, you get the coming out party, you get the really hype, and then it's just oh, no juice left, dump. And now it's just going to struggle until it finds a new floor, till the buyers come back in. So when you're looking at a coin like this and you're saying, you know, on Twitter, there's probably a lot of people that are like, wow, I wanted to buy it here. Now I'm going to buy the dip because that's what pros do. And they're not wrong. Buying dips in a bull market is like tough, and it's great. It's the better thing to do versus buying pumps. Okay. However, there is some dips that are better than others. This thing's in no man's land right now. There was the pump chaser zone where it kind of consolidated for a bit. It even broke out from, and then it failed. So I think the next area where buyers may step in is going to be this reload zone. It's not at the 618 yet. I have no reason myself to buy it. What you want to see when you buy a token is that you don't move the market. I don't move the market. We don't move the market. Smart money, whales, big players, they move the market. They put bottoms in, they put tops in. And that's just the way it's going to be. And yes, the public can override them sometimes. You know, GameStop, mania, retail mania. There's times when it will go. But I want to be long where the big boys are long. I want to be long from smart money levels. And how do you spot that? And this is why I go on and on and on about volume. Because when I first got into trading, people would tell me that, and I didn't really know how to read it. But let's look at this. Down, 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 nothing that exciting. Boom. Big buyers. This is not mom and pop Friday, Saturday retailers buying this. This is a huge amount of volume. It's not only that, it's a significant signal on the chart that from this downtrend, we are now reversed. Boom. Breakout on volume. Now I can comfortably look at this and say, I want to get long here because somebody just put a fuckload of capital into that and they're going to protect their entry. They're probably just going to keep adding. They clearly have a thesis, right? And sure enough, you look back and you're like, wow, that aged well. Right now, there are no evidence of buyers. They're not there. They pushed it to the highs. This is probably a lot of like retail mania money coming in. They, dumped it. Who knows who that was, but it was pretty significant volume. It kind of took over this buying. So this is where the bears took over officially, right here. And now we're just going to drift and melt and dip and suck and cry and die for a bit. And you'll be able to see when it's interesting again. You'll be able to spot something. And my guess, purely conjecture here, but my guess is it'll be something like this, whatever it's going to be down here. And it'll just be chilling. And then there will be, and then it'll just be, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then it's going to be like, we're in a bull again. So that can really be applied. That little mini lesson, that rant, that can be applied to like any chart. And we're probably going to see a lot of that because you don't just get to have one full year of bull. I think we should go back and look at 2017 charts on altcoins especially, and you'll see, fuck it, let's do it right now. Let's go to the one that I started off with. Oh, it's not even listed anymore. What's that site where you can look up like historical charts? I'm going to check my bookmarks. It's like, I don't have it off the top of my head. CoinTrader Pro, I think. Yeah, let's look at this. You guys want to see when I joined crypto? What I had to deal with? Strat. BTC. Let's see if we can find it. Yeah, here we go. Now this is bad because it never really came back. I mean, this was like the end of the year pump, but this was 2017 for Stratus. It was like the hottest coin when it was. People were comparing it to Ethereum. This is when I discovered crypto. Stratus was one of the first coins I bought. It blew my fucking mind. This was like, it went up from like whatever to $14. And then it just died. And it died. And it died. And it died. And this is during the bull market, right? A lot of people look at that. They're like, oh, that looks like the 2017 bubble. This was like June. And it sucked. And I thankfully like shit myself. I didn't know any better. Like I didn't look at charts back then, but I sold somewhere through here. And I thought I was being dumb. I was like, I'm selling the dip. I don't care. I'm not losing any more money. I was actually up money at that point, but I was like losing money from my highs. But all that to say, like, this is not as good example because it never came back. But good coins do go through cycles within a bull market. And we saw it with DeFi summer last year. And, I feel the need to beat this horse dead so that, because when I go on Twitter, and I'm still blown away by like just how many good big accounts that I trust and kind of respect. Maybe it's for engagement. Maybe they really believe it. Maybe I'm dumb. Maybe we're just in a dip and I'm just being a big stupid bear. But when I see bullish or bearish market structure tops, and I'm just picking them at it because it's up here, that's a reversal in trend. I'm a trader. I'm getting the fuck out. I'm not long on an asset that looks like that, period. And if I'm wrong and then there's a nice bullish setup and it comes in and I can buy something up here, like whatever. But it's clear as day to me. And I'm just kind of blown away by how many accounts, again, on Twitter that have pretty good followings and are well thought of and respectable. And then they're just like, maybe they're memeing and joking. They're like, I bought the dip, I bought the dip, I bought the dip. And I'm just like, what did you see on the chart that told you to buy that? So maybe I'm overthinking it. Certainly wouldn't be the first time. But I'm out of some of my larger kind of coins. I'll tell you what I am in because I don't want to be like full bear today, guys. I did, I picked some up this week, some coins. I bought Kyber. This thing looks great versus Bitcoin. Bitcoin is showing weakness. And so here, okay. Wow, I got really bearish there for a bit. Here's what I really want to say. This is my actual, like how I'm actually trading this. Yes, I'm looking for some shorts on perps because I'd love to have that hedge in place because I got a fuckload of long exposure. But as Bitcoin dumps through this range, alts, those dips on some altcoins versus Bitcoin, they're buying opportunities for me because, this is still a bull market. Let's be clear. Some of those alts that I just showed topped on the daily, at least by my analysis, but like Bitcoin is still, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low. It is getting tired. It is looking exhausted up here, but it is still an uptrend. And while it's an uptrend and while we're in a bull market, these little moves down into range EQs can present buying opportunities, but not for things like GRT. This is not a buying opportunity for me yet, but there are charts out there. So maybe we should just focus on, okay, RT, I get it. Something looks like shit. Show me something that looks good. KNC looks fucking awesome. And there's a bunch of them like this. It looks good. It's, it's showing all the good signs of buyers stepping into the lows, rotating their Bitcoin into altcoins, which is why I think there are some alts out there versus Bitcoin that could get a really nice rally in Q2. And this is one of them. And we got bullish market structure breakout. We got a retest confluent with the pump chaser zone here. So I bought KNC. I actually added yesterday. So I didn't catch the exact bottom, but I added in this little zone. And I think this looks great. I wouldn't be shocked if I can just sit on this and ignore it and get up there. Double check. Oh, okay. Oh, yay. Yay. Okay, good news, guys. My ninja hair cutter just told me he's coming at 4:30, not 4. So I got some more time. I thought he was telling me that I had to get off. Okay, so yeah, KNC looks good. What else did I pick up the other day from the stream? I talked about it on stream. What do we got here? Komodo, KMD. KMD. This is another one I picked up. You can see why. Obviously, the way I've drawn it up, but like even just like tell me why would I pick this up? Surely somebody watching can figure out, based on what I always talk about, what I'm seeing here, a really cute little bullish divergence here. It's kind of hard to see on this screen. But right here. No, it's right here. Price made a lower low and this made a higher low right down here at the very bottom. And so that was a really cute little bullish divergence that told me, okay, this might be the bottom. Now I see all this buying volume come in. That's whales. That's big buyers. That's, that's not you and I. And they're putting a bottom in this thing as far as I can see with their Bitcoin. They're selling their Bitcoin for this coin, which tells me they're planning a larger rotation. And then I see this breakout and now I see this retest. So yeah, hell yeah, I'm long on Komodo. And we'll see. We'll see if I can get up to this resistance. There should be a lot of resistance here. Lots of lows were put in. But I don't see any way now that we've broken into this kind of gap on the VPR. I'd be very shocked if that doesn't get filled. if we don't, move up through here in some way, shape, or form. So might have just talked myself into adding to my Komodo. I actually bought a little higher than it is right now, up around 343 or something. So there is some nice opportunities out here, guys. Don't get it twisted like I'm just a big crazy bear. Can't wait to all in KNC on 3x. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Yeah, RT. How about KNC too? Nice. Jonesy's got some KNC. Yeah, Kyber. I mean, the other thing too is like Kyber's got a launch pad. They're in that conversation with launch pads, IDOs. What was the one that launched on there recently? ID. Everest ID. You want to pick this thing up at 15 cents? Got to buy some Kyber, I think. I don't know what it takes to participate on there, but the users got access to this at 15 cents. And it's like a swap protocol. There's a lot of liquidity getting routed through there. So Kyber is actually a soft spot for me, KNC, because I was in that ICO way back in the day in 2017. There was like a 3.2 personal ETH cap, and I maxed it out. I was a baller, 3.5 ETH or whatever. And it came out, it did well, and I sold it. I got like a 5x, and I was pumped. So I'm happy to be back in little KNC. Let's go back and look at it again. Yeah, this chart just looks great. I mean, like just zoom out and tell me which part of a chart do you like to buy? Do you like to buy highs? Do you like to buy lows? And I love to buy things that are down, but only once they show signs of reversing, and that's what I see here. So it doesn't guarantee it will, but I'm feeling pretty good about it. AVAX BNB. That is a strange pair. Is that a pair? No, you must just be talking about AVAX. AVAX, if I recall, looked a little heavy on the daily. Doesn't look as bad. The nice thing about AVAX, it has come down a lot already. I think it's already touching a reload zone. Let's check. Looks like it might be. Just maybe. Get nice down to the lows up here. Yeah, like look at that. That's cute. Putting a little floor in right at the 618. So it certainly doesn't look as bad. And I think this is an important thing to think about. Big buy volume coming in. A new all-time high in buy volume just came in off of this level, which is what we talk about, right? You get to a level, it looks low, you're saying, oh, it's so cheap, but you also want to know that whales see that, whales think that, and whales are going to protect your level. Spot the whales, get long with them. So I like this one a hell of a lot more than some of those other USD charts we looked at because it's already come down quite a bit. Off the highs, it's down 56%. It is in a reload zone, or at least resting above. And after tagging it initially, it's already had this kind of bullish breakout. And it's technically in the reload. Ooh, ha, ha. Yeah, me likey. So here's what I see. Comes in. Let's see if there was divergence. Can we get the full setup? Not on the daily. We probably need something like a 12-hour to get the visual. But yeah, kind of. Not as much. I could go searching for it, but then you're just trying to fit it into your own bias, right? But did we get it? Probably did. Yeah. See, I found it. If you look hard enough, you can always find a divergence. But right here, much higher low, even as price made a slightly lower low. So like a little bit of internal strength there. Same with the RSI. So we came into the low on divergence, saying that there was more internal strength than it might have looked like. Then big buyers step back in. Then bullish market structure confirmed on the daily. And now we've dipped back into the reload zone of that breakout. So kind of like an RLZ within an RLZ. This would be even sexier if it was happening down here. But can I take some risk here and risk it to those lows? Because I don't really want to see those break. That's a 15% drawdown versus USDT. And to make it worth my time, I only need to get to here, which isn't even like new highs locally. So even if price carves out a range, there's a trade in there for me. So yeah, great suggestion. And I don't know who brought up AVAX just now, but thank you. Evan, appreciate it, bro. John, put AVAX on our short list. I think this is one. you know, because it's a range trade, but then like here I'm closing half my position and I'm putting my stop loss at break even. And now I've got a guaranteed, like if it gets there, there's no guarantees, but if I do get there and I close half the position and I put my stop loss at break even, I am now in a guaranteed winner where I might even get full continuation. So I've locked in a winner. And then, you know, and I'll be honest, most of the times I do that, I feel like I don't have the exact data, but a lot of the times I do that, it does come back and just stop me out and then does whatever it's going to do. So but it's maybe sexier than it actually ends up being. Sounds like it, but that's probably how I would trade this. I might actually trade this. I don't know if I'm going to. I have a lot of positions. So if I'm going to take on more risk, I need to figure out what the hell I'm doing with my life. But I do like the look of that. I do. AVAX is strong. Let's see what's the market cap at? Because fundamentally, I just heard all kinds of the right things about this one. So should it be top 10? Should it be top 20? It's only 31, 32, 3.2 billion. Yeah. Okay. You're convincing me. I'm gonna probably take some risk on for this thing. Notice how I talk about trades. When I enter a trade, I'm just adding risk to my life. I don't get shit. Reward comes later. Think risk first. You will end up less poor. You may not end up more rich, but you will end up less poor. Oh my God, looks juicy. Okay, let's take a look at oh my God from Jonesy. I agree. On the BTC chart, I was charting it. It was off the lows. You know, from the video on Monday or whatever day it was, Tuesday. This thing, yeah. I mean, yeah, man, like if you can train yourself to get bullish on things in moments like this, probably going to do okay in life. Nobody's talking about this right now. It's not sexy. It's not moving. It's not really much volume, which is a little bit concerning, but you know, don't be shocked if the next thing that happens on this chart, if not like a capitulation candle, is like just a bam, green candle on volume. And it just goes like this. And then it pulls back, but not all the way, just enough to not let you in. And then it just, you know, like if this breaks out, it'll probably be like pretty sudden. So guys like me who are like, I'm going to wait for volume confirmation may get left behind. But on, you know, surface level, what I see is like low volume, not that exciting. And then, whoa, hello. So some significant amount of money is trying to put a bottom on this thing, and it looks like it's pretty damn close. I would have been pretty disappointed if I was holding it all through this. I think there's something to be said for opportunity cost and getting in at the breakout. Could even say that about my ID trade. Like, this is a 12-hour shit. No, give me 12, give me 4. I said this about ID too. You know, I was just loading up through here, not really caring, knowing full well I might be locking myself into, you know, a position that may not move for quite a while in a market that's otherwise hot, that I could perhaps be redeploying that capital somewhere more profitable in the short term. But in this case, I was like, fuck it. I feel so good about it. I don't want to miss it. I don't want to not be part of it. I don't think it'll take as long as people think. But then, you know, my secondary sort of idea was like, if someone really is worried about opportunity cost through here, it's a really nice range it carved out. Then all you have to do is wait for the volume breakout. And that's right here. Clear break on volume. That's where it's like, okay, we're moving. And then it's like, okay, now buy the dips, right? And so you can save your time, spend your money elsewhere where the market's moving, get that confirmation that it's maybe time to move, then go hunt dips. Yes, you ended up buying 64, 65, 77, or 67. Whereas like I was picking it up at 45, 55, and 60. So you don't get the sweetest entry, but you get a fast mover, something that's like moving today. So that might be something to think about on OMG. It's carving out this range. It's got a nice thing going on here. But why am I going to park in it? It hasn't really moved since February 22nd. But if it does, and some volume comes in, I have tools that can help me get in. You know, I can follow that little initial up, can set a pump chaser zone to make sure I don't miss it on the first pullback. Maybe it goes here, and then it's like, okay, now I'm in, and I have pretty good evidence that it's ready to move. So that's another thing to think about when you think you've found a nice bottom that looks ready to reverse. You can always wait for the reversal as long as you just have alerts set. And on that note, just to be a good example setter, I will set an alert at 1070. There. It's not even breaching the highs. But if that gets triggered, I'll come back to this. Because when OMG moves, oh baby, she likes to move hard. That was the Tether announcement, which clearly didn't actually give it much demand. I mean, everyone uses Tether and it's running on OMG. Oh wait, nobody's actually using OMG to transfer their Tether. Womp womp womp. But we look like we've hit a place where demand has met supply, so we're flat. Good reverse. I'm behind. DJ MCG, welcome back. Hey, Marcin, good to have you, brother. No worries. Glad you're here. Some volume coming in on Cake USDT. Yeah, what is good Cake doing? I saw that. Actually, funny you mentioned that. I noticed that Cake was getting some nice volume. So, really good eye. Exactly what we've been talking about, right? Who was that? Cake. Vorpaxis K. Yeah. So you have a downtrend. Now, I think Cake actually traded before this. So it's not a, let's go look at Cake on something like this thing. Okay, Cake. Can I get more history? Yeah. Wow. Okay. Isn't that a different picture? Good thing we checked. But that is significant volume still. Sorry about the white screen, guys. I know. I'm a dark mode guy too. But yeah, I'm not going to go redesign this whole thing in front of us right now. But yeah, I don't know what to say. I mean, I think this is pretty significant volume. So there's that. I think this really ugly looking fib is going to come out. Oh, it's the one you guys are used to, right? It's the default. Front ran the 618. Never visited the sweet spot or the 786. But there is volume coming in. There's buyers stepping up. And so depending on your time frame, you could trade this, I guess. I don't like it as much. I know there's a ton of bullishness around Cake, and I'm definitely out of the loop on that. I do have a wallet over there, but I just feel like I missed the boat a little bit. But on the high time frames, this is still a downtrend, I think. At least on this very limited chart, which sucks. Really shouldn't be charting on this at all. If you have a bigger chart, you can do. But even here, it's still a downtrend, unfortunately. We're at a higher low, or excuse me, a lower high right now. So what does it look like if I want to change my tune? Well, we'd have to get a higher low and then break the highs of whatever this ends up being. That's your reversal. For now, it's trending down. Trading View sent me 100 coins. Thanks, bro. Thank you very much. I'm out here working, and now I'm getting paid. I don't know what those are worth, but I like the gesture. So thank you, Trading View. Appreciate that. Those are just loading up, too. We've got a few of those over on Trading View, and I still haven't figured out how to look at them. I mean, it's pretty easy, I'm sure, but I haven't done it. I'm going to go check today. TRI is the best. Level 1 here. No regret at all. Okay, Lou M. Lou M is in the chat. He's vouching for the TRI thing I was talking about. Yeah, I never have any problem sharing information about that because it's where I learned to trade, and they're dope. They're dope as fuck. And it's not even like a competition. It's not even like, oh, they're competing. We don't offer a paid trading course. I share as much of my own trading ideas as I can and my strategies, but I have no illusions about being able to create a program or really any desire. And a lot of guys who are in TRI, they come and watch this stream as well as the daily briefs and all that stuff, right? There's a lot of complementary stuff going on here. And I never shy away from sharing good quality because at the end of the day, when I go to sleep at night and I'm like, I feel good. I achieved something today. I did some good. The good that I did in my eyes, in my mind, is guide somebody else not financially necessarily, but like, not financial advice, but like help you or help somebody who's watching see and think a different way, like a better way. And whether that's in life or in trading or in analysis. And I still remember Carter Thomas on Twitter. I don't know if you guys know of him. He's not really around much anymore, but he used to do these kind of streams. And I still remember the feeling I got in 2017 when I was like, oh, fuck, I don't know what I'm doing. And the fucking market's moving and it's scaring the shit out of me. And I got debts to pay and I put in my life savings, which was only $2,000 at the time. and I used to go watch his stream and it was so comforting. And it was so like, it was like the guiding light. And he would just show me on the chart. He'd be like, this is what's going on. That's what's going on. And this is just that. And this is just that. And that gave me such a feeling of comfort and happiness and pleasure and joy, all the good things. And so I try to exude his energy among other people's, but that's the goal. So never shy away from sharing something that I think would take somebody who's listening and like put them on the right path. So just a rant about TRI again. It was great. And that's what we do here. We do a lot of that here too. So I don't think it's one or the other for sure. What else, guys? I'm in rant mode. I've got 6 minutes left until I got to get a ninja haircut because COVID, the salons are still closed, but I got a guy coming to my house. He's going to cut my hair. B2 wins. Appreciate that, brother. And then you know what? And that's the kickback. If you guys haven't yet, you can like this video, you can sub to the channel. Those are like the small asks that like kick it back to me where I'm like, oh shit. Because as sad as it might sound, I do read the comments. I do read I do look at the analytics. And when I put out a video that smacks and it's like, ooh, 1,000 views. Ooh, a lot of people liked it. I feel good. That's just a fact. It's my job to do them, but it's also like there's a bonus in delivering something people actually show you they like. And then sometimes I read comments and the guy's like, RT, you talk too much. You interrupt people on the stream. And I'm like, fuck. like I know I do, but it feels bad. Feels bad, man. But they're not even hating. I think it was like reasonably good feedback. Let's take a look at the Dixie, man. This thing is looking ominous right now. It's not good. This does not look good for people trading against things that valued against US dollars. And that could be driving some of the downward pressure on the market. And I haven't looked at equities this week or gold or any of that stuff. But this doesn't look good, guys. We should have talked about this earlier. I mean, in general, if we're going to see like a full FU bullish, like bearish market reversal, it's probably going to have something to do with the Dixie and the Dixie doing well. And the Dixie is doing well right now. The US dollar index. It's not great. This is bad news. I was really hoping my resistance line would put a stop to it. So I have to maybe redraw this chart. Like, what is our next place where we can look for some relief? Because it looks like it reversed. That's not good. If you look historically, every bull market and bear market in Bitcoin, pretty much, at least for the last two, were like an inversion of, and we've looked at this before, but got it here. They were just like an inversion of the Dixie. I'm going to have to clean this up a bit. Whoa. Okay. This might take a little longer to set up than I wanted, but is that it? Is that it? Yeah. Try to just align these two. But, you can see like BTC doing bad, Dixie doing good. Dixie doing relatively well, BTC not doing a whole lot, kind of ranging here, even though that was a pretty fucking cool rally in 2019. And then, yeah, here, like big dump. That was a big pump on Dixie. So it is an inversion. And now, big nasty downturn on the Dixie, big beautiful uptrend on the Bitcoin. And now we're kind of into this, like it's getting tired looking. Meanwhile, the Dixie's like boiling up. So we do have to consider the possibility that that we're in for a bit of a shift here in trend. That's always possible, guys. You never want to like set yourself up to be like, I know it's going here. I think there's this broad assumption that we are in 2017 of this cycle, so that it has to end in December and it has to be a year-long bear market. And I tend to align with that because why not? That's what the evidence shows. But there's no rule that is. And generally speaking, it is so widely accepted as a consensus that it makes me nervous. It's like everyone's talking about, well, I'll just ride out this year. I just need a few more X's and then I've hit my goals. There's this like broad assumption that that's just going to be easy. Makes me nervous. So, TLDR, I have a lot of coins that I'm bullish on versus Bitcoin. They are all on this list, or at least most of them. Sadly, this is just a Binance scan, so I didn't get a chance to like scan all the other exchanges. Alpha, it did confirm, and now it's back into a dip zone, so probably something I'm interested in. Balancer, not too clean of the interaction with this level yet, but it's in a zone. It's in the pump chaser zone. Band, kind of like OMG, just down at those lows, looking kind of sheepish and bored. Decent buy volume coming in at these lows. Bell, I think, is one that I remember liking the other day. Yeah, look. I mean, right here, pump chaser zone. If I'm going to get long at something, this is probably an area. I can't get long in everything, though, so I got to be selective. Curve, just listed on Coinbase. Could be something down here. DIA, pump chaser zone. Can I get a 2x sometime in the next month or two? I feel like I can. KMD, y'all already know. KNC, y'all already know. I'm long. And then LTO looks really good. I mean, look at LTO. Ooh. Now, I don't know much about this project, but somebody who I know who's really into fundamentals, who is a very smart guy, he's really bullish on this one. Like out of the blue, he just messaged me like 6 months ago. He's like, have you ever looked into LTO? So I respect his opinion. I did not trade it. So he's already got a few free positions working and I don't. But this chart just looks great. And I'm not afraid to say that I missed when he told me about it, which was like down here. He got his free position, probably reloaded down here. But this thing looks great. So if I get any kind of retest pullbacks, I want some because this is like a fat accumulation range breakout. Let's check the chat here just before we wrap, guys. When you judge market structure, do you look at closing price or do you look at the wicks too? I just look at closing price for the, like, if I'm looking for like a market structure fail or confirmation, I need it to close. Tamea, sharing my personal story. Thank you. Yeah, appreciate that. Happy to connect. Guiding light is important, not to show you what to do is right, but if you currently do is right. Yeah, appreciate that. Royal Fortune. Sam coins. Now, I didn't cover those much today. We could take a quick look. I think, no, shit, guys. Now I got to go. I got a haircut man coming in a minute. For Paxis K, appreciate it. When you invalidate bearable div, RSI point from 2 weeks ago and high now. How far back can you pull an indicator? High, low. Ooh, that's a really good question, B2 Wins. We're going to save that. If you could bring that one back, or better yet, put it in a comment on this video because I read those and I'll maybe even include it in like a pre-record video before the next stream. Didn't Dexy pump into late 2017? I don't know. Let's go look. No. Well, yeah, the Dixie had this little run, but I mean, obviously it was a downtrend. So it's a good point. Like we're thinking in trends too, right? It doesn't go straight down, but so this is a pretty good rally as Bitcoin was rallying. Yep, you're right. It's not a perfect correlation, but it's something to keep an eye on. No perma bullshit here, Ramon. That's for sure. If it's long, let's go long. If it's short, let's go short. Carter was out. Yeah, Banana Town, 69.88 knows. Banana Town. Yep. I was there. I was watching him live when he came up with that. And he was like, what the fuck? Banana Town. Okay, it's a thing. Good times. Yeah, the good old days. Let's take a quick look at Sam coins because I have a soft spot for them. And I'm holding some serum. Now, I did exit some serum on the weekend as part of my like purge. And I thought I was selling the dip. I was like, probably just selling some downside here, but whatever. Now I feel good about it. I didn't sell. I only sold half. So now I'm like, why didn't I tell the whole thing? But yeah, serum doesn't look great. Serum as a project looks awesome. Serum as a long-term hold for me looks awesome. But I don't want to hold my whole bag down if I think I can get it back cheaper. So this is not an area where I sell, as you guys know, but with this kind of like top structure fail, this, looking back, it's so easy. Ooh, is it ever? Could we just be a hindsight traders? market structure fail, drop, bearish retest, bearish retest, bearish retest, fail. Once the market decides it's not getting through a level, everyone just rugs it. And when I say everyone, I just mean like whales, whoever, the movers of the market. When confirmations come in, things tend to just drop hard. Just like when bullish confirmations come in, they just pump like crazy because there's a lot of people out there with a lot of capital waiting for those confirmations. So we just got that on Serum. I don't like selling it here. I'm probably not going to sell what I have left. I have like half my position left. My cost basis is lower than this. Like I'm in profit, but yeah, I'm not gonna rush out. I'll tell you what though, these big dumps are usually followed by like, counter trend rallies. So do I then just buy into the fact that this is probably just a downtrend and I can get a downtrend line test and then, then we get in here, start making all the noise. Let's get ready for another rally. Oh! It's kind of like the thing I'm seeing on a lot of USD pairs right now for altcoins. And I have to do my best not to chart like KNC versus USD because that might shake me out of my Bitcoin pair position, which is I literally bought some Bitcoin just to long it to get more Bitcoin, irregardless of what Bitcoin's doing at the time. Oh, look at this. MBS. This is new BitShares. Broke out. It's on my short list. I don't have any, but it's on my short list, so that's cool. Your hair's way too long, dude. Why are you still here doing TA? Yeah, for real. My haircut guy might be at the door. I'm an idiot. I just love streaming. Let's switch back to the studio. You guys got to look at my... Yeah, man, look at this shit. It's ridiculous. So I'm going to saw that off right now. I love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Been a great stream today. Got a nice chunk of covered things. Exactly, Marcin. Why would the Dixie go up when they're printing money like crazy? I don't understand economics. I wish I could give you guys a deeper analysis on perhaps why that's happening. Maybe it's just a counter trend rally and it's just to squeeze all those shorts that are, overzealous shorting it, the Euros and whoever, and then they're going to dump it. I don't know. I don't see it lasting long term. There's too much printing. Anyways, I can hear the door knocking, guys. Have a wonderful day. Whatever you do, until next time, always play from a position of strength. Have a great weekend. Take care.